I think a lot of times when you're going through something, that has trauma involved with it, like there's some, like he didn't really have a place where he can communicate what he was dealing with. And now that, like Key said, that it's out there, you almost hear him in real time talking himself through it, right? And I think compartmentalization is something that every athlete's able to do, but how you channel where you are now and then compartmentalize, I think that gives him runway.
Tom, you've never been 3-5 before, 2 games under 500. Got to go back 23 years ago, 1998 at Michigan. And you were 0-2 then, and you rattled off 8 straight. You're in unfamiliar territory here. How are you dealing with that aspect of it?
You know what? I'm glad it's unfamiliar, and I want this to be as unfamiliar as possible. So losing sucks, and we've put a lot into winning just like every team does. And no one's feeling sorry for the Bucs. We know that, and we got to go change it. So I think the attitude is, there's no surrender. There's nobody that's backing down from the challenge. We faced adversity before. We all have. You face adversity in your professional life. You face adversity in other aspects of life. It all builds resilience, and you learn how to deal with the adversities, and hopefully they make you stronger. So we're going to go out there this week, and we're going to try to be the best we could be this week. Who cares what happened in the past 8 weeks? Our record is what it is. We're not changing it. We can't change any game that we've had. All we can do is learn from the last 8 weeks and try to apply it in a winning way this week. And it's a big challenge for us. So we're going to see what we're made of, and I think time will tell all.
It's adversity. You go through that in life. You go through that in football. It's how you come out of it and react towards it, which makes you a better player and a better person.
They played as bad as humanly possible and still are going to win their division. They're 1 game back.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's almost as if, okay, I was going through this divorce. My O-line is depleted. I've had players out. What else are you going to throw at me? That's been me at my worst. And we're still in contention. We're still here. So watch. That's why I still think there's upside for Tom Brady, because now it's like he's almost on the back end coming out of this. Never be out of a divorce, right, and dealing with his kids, but now you're seeing him come through the other side of the tunnel.
It's really hard to imagine, though, Tommy, in a 23-year professional career, there's probably not another player in the National Football League who has that record or who would be able to say that.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, Jim?
Well, that's the trick that the owner of that dog would send you outside and retrain you, because that's not a new trick you want to be learning.
I wish I didn't have to learn it, believe me.
Tom, every team in the National Football League has injuries, and you've said the injury rate is 100%. Everybody's going through them. Your offensive line has been decimated, your defensive backfield, and now Shaq Barrett, one of the stalwarts on your defense, is out now with the torn Achilles. This just compounds the problems, doesn't it?
That one hurts a lot. There's no doubt. And you're right, every team does deal with it. We've dealt with our fair share on offense this year. And defensively, to lose Shaq is a big loss for us. There's no replacing that level of ability that he has. He's a tremendous player, great teammate. We're going to miss him. And it's one thing to lose a game. It's another thing to lose a key element of the defense in that game too. So, it was a very shitty loss in both respects. And, we all want him to recover. We love being out there on the field with him. And unfortunately, he won't be able to make it through this year. And we got to keep fighting on without him.
When you talk to your team, we know where you're at in the NFC South. It's still a division that's up for grabs. There's still 9 games left. So what do you think in general will tell your players how you get out of this?
Just accountability to each other. They're out on the field together, understanding how to prepare and doing things the right way. We're all in this boat together. Nobody's pointing fingers or anything else. The only thing that can get out of it is ourselves. When we start making a play here or there, it becomes contagious. So we got to keep working at that. And, that's what football is. You got to go out and believe and make plays. And it comes with the little things. We do the little things right, the big things will come.
Are guys holding each other accountable out there on the field? Because
all the time.
We do as coaches.
All the time.
Tommy, there's an awful lot going on in your life away from the football field. You're a very public figure, and your personal life spills over. And it's created, I'm sure, a number of challenges for you this season.
Yeah, Jim. I think there's a lot of professionals in life that go through things that they deal with at work and they deal with at home. And obviously the good news is it's a very amicable situation. And I'm really focused on two things, and taking care of my family and certainly my children. And secondly, doing the best job I can to win football games. So that's what professionals do. You focus at work when it's time to work. And then when you come home, you focus on the priorities that are at home. And all you can do is the best you could do. And that's what I'll just continue to do as long as I'm working and as long as I'm being a dad.
Key, I do think there's something to that. Like when a guy has to kind of keep one side of his life, not just private, but secret, right?
Yes.
You don't want stuff out in the public. That can weigh on you in a way where maybe when you're on the other side of it, and look, now cat's out of the bag, man, right?
Oh, yeah, cool.
It lifts a burden in a way.
Oh, it was all good. When I was going through my divorce and I played, immediately, I'm getting divorced. It's over with. I ain't got to even be sitting around and acting all weird and don't want to tell nobody. I don't care that it's on E! Entertainment and Extra and all those things back in the day. Okay, it is what it is. I'm getting divorced. I'm going to take care of my kids, and I'm going to keep it moving. So now I can play with a clear mind. I don't have to worry about, somebody's going to ask me this question about this now. What's really going on?
Is there a challenge compartmentalizing between the two?
Well, I think that's what being a professional is. So I've dealt with a lot of challenging situations on and off the field over 23 years, and a lot of it does play out, in front of a lot of people. So, I think the interesting thing for, football player, athlete in general, is, you're out there. I always say we're not actors, even though we're on TV, that is our real self out there. We're trying to do our best. That's how people really have gotten to know me over the years, by being on TV. And that is an authentic self that's out there to compete with my teammates every day. And you're giving all you can to the team. And, everyone's going through different things. We all have our unique challenges in life, and we're all humans, and we do the best we could do. And I have incredible parents that have always taught me the right way to do things. I want to be a great father to my children and always try to do things the right way as well. And to deal with things that in your life that have challenges, you want to deal with in the best possible way. So I want to always be able to hold my head high on and off the field, and I'm going to try to continue to do that for as long as I'm here.
Tom has to deal with a little bit of a different type of scrutiny, but it's the same thing. Now that it's out in the public, so to speak, he can just approach it as it is. Like he said, I'm going to take care of my kids. I'm going to take care of my family and my kids to start. Then I'll focus in on football, and then he'll be better for that.
So we all kind of see it in a similar way here. Do you guys think this means that, what's your prediction quickly? Is Brady going to get better and the Bucs going to get better now?
They're going to fight for the division. Is that a good enough prediction?
Yeah, that is absolutely. Fight for the division, yeah.
Would you be shocked that Tom Brady does something that nobody expects him to do? That Tom Brady somehow creates magic that nobody thought he could do?
We all saw them on Thursday night. They looked really bad. The good news is the division has not run away from them. We'll get to the trade possibilities in a minute. But, Jeff, just based on what you've seen, can Brady and this Buccaneers team turn this around completely in the second half and become something that looks like a real contender by the end of the year?
Absolutely can. He's already beaten the Saints and the Falcons head-to-head. So they are going to be in the playoffs.
Do you think Brady gets better going forward now that this is public? I'm not saying it's direct cause and effect, but...
Yeah, the barometer is pretty low, by the way, for how he's played thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they get better, but it could have a positive effect on the rest of the team, right? Mm-hmm. Because if he's walking around with his head down, then the other people looking at him and they're saying, well, he got this negative attitude. Well, why should I care? Why? Like, if he's not coming out of there with his chest out every single day with the "let's go, I'm Brady," that whole deal, they look at him and go, well, that ain't the same guy that we had 2 years ago. Now he's coming back and he's like, yeah, I'm Brady, I'm coming back. They're going to feel a certain way. Yeah. They're going to follow their leader.
I picked them to win the division. I've not moved off that, and I'm not moving off it, Jay. I think they're going to win the division. Will they?
Yes.
This football team is built right. And when we looked at their roster preseason and thought about once guys got healthy, whether it be Godwin and Julio Jones coming over for the addition, whatever those things look like, They still have that ability. They played poorly. And here's the deal. 3 days for the Baltimore Ravens after you've just gotten walked before, that was a tough draw for them. The 10 days, I think, will be a huge benefit because you saw so many times against that Ravens defense where Brady and Evans weren't on the same page. A lot of details in there that you don't see Brady miss very often that was missed, whether it was what the route was when they were converting, what the receiver was seeing and he was seeing. I think all of those things over these 10 days get addressed and the fine focus really comes back.
More likely Bucs win the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs?
Oh. More likely they make the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs. To miss the playoffs, that would mean they don't win the division. So the answer is more likely to make the Super Bowl. This is listen, folks.
You believe
I have been guilty of this many a time, of the writing Tom Brady's obituary early.
Okay.
And now it seems like the entire media it's not even a hot take to be like Tom Brady's done. Everyone agrees he's done. This is going to be his last year, all these things. First of all, I don't think he's retiring after this season.
They have weapons on deck. They got Mike Evans, Godwin. You talk about Julio Jones coming back, Russell Gage. So for the Bucs, I just think it's this 10-day break. Yep. Exactly what they needed. Brady's working on the things that are going on in his life behind the scenes, and now he has some finality. I think that now they're going to make that push.
And in the playoffs, there are a lot of better teams, but those teams are quarterbacked by guys like Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins and, God bless him, Geno Smith and the best of all, Jimmy Garoppolo. So do I see a world where Tom Brady is hosting a playoff game against Daniel Jones and then he's going on the road to Kirk Cousins and then he's in the NFC Championship game? And so, listen, the Bucs have major issues, Coach, and I'm not acting like they're a great team. But they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be hosting a playoff game against potentially Daniel Jones or Geno Smith. In those scenarios, how can you not like Brady's chances?
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.